now talk more about Washington's attack on RT with Pepe Escobar, a foreign affairs journalist who joins us now live from Bangkok. Mr. Pepe Escobar, very nice to have you here on the program. Quite strong words we're hearing from the US Secretary of State regarding this channel. Why do you think he's singled out RT when commenting on the Ukrainian crisis then?
Looks like RT is ruffling very important feathers in the United States of America. So strong words, RT program. Oh, network, maybe program. It's just like Iraqi war. I'm against it and then I'm on. So this is the top US diplomat speaking. It's ghost written, of course. He didn't write those words. He didn't even know what he was reading. So let me have some strong words as well. Let's talk about bullhorns. Let's talk about Fox News as a private US bullhorn for the most demented extreme right-wing factions in the US. Let's talk about the BBC as a state-owned British bullhorn for the MI5, the Foreign Office, and 10 Downing Street. Let's talk about Al Jazeera as a state-owned bullhorn for Qatari petrodollar foreign policy. So, Mr. Secretary of State, I have a proposition for you. Maybe strong words, okay, I can use my soft side as well. Instead of bullhorns and RT program and whining like a kid, why don't you visit one of RT offices, like in Washington, D.C., your town, for instance? And then we can discuss geopolitics and American foreign policy among adults, among grown-ups, and not among whining children, groupies, and cheerleaders. You'll be surprised. You may even learn something.
Okay, that's a good one, Pepe, so we should invite you over as well. But of course, RT is being bashed right now for and called biased, obviously. But do you think viewers can get an unbiased view of the events in Ukraine solely from Western mainstream media?
Of course not. And this is information war, in fact. And the Americans absolutely terrified, because now it's not only CNN all over the world, like during the war in Bosnia or during the first Iraq war. Now there's RT, there's Al Jazeera, that's France 24, that's Deutsche Welle, that's TVE, that's CCTV. And one day we're going to have Brazilian TV going global, not only in Portuguese. They're terrified of Press TV in Iran, which also broadcasts in English. So they ban Press TV all over the place. So RT, what RT is doing, and I'm talking not as an RT employee. I want to make this very, very clear. I am a foreign affairs journalist and a foreign correspondent for 30 years now. I reported from all over the world, everywhere that matters. I am a guest, a frequent guest at RT, and I write op-eds for RT. I visited the bureaus in London, New York, DC, and Moscow. I met a lot of very bright, very committed, hard-working people. There's no propaganda about this. This is an alternative media enterprise, in fact. It's another point of view. It has a Russian point of view, but it has also a developing global South point of view that until recently was totally absent in the international media landscape. I talk, from experience. When you work all over the world, you see how the media works all over the world. I see the BBC and CNN and Fox News in action in war theaters, for instance, and interviewing prime minister. So it's only scripted, and it's only their own script. And if you have an alternative script like RT, you are banned. They don't even talk to you because they're afraid.
Of course, Pepe, you say you travel a lot covering events worldwide. How would you describe the level of trust viewers now have for their mainstream media and their take on the Ukrainian crisis in particular?
Look, the Ukrainian crisis, the narrative is so complicated, and you need tomes and tomes to decipher all the different nuances. TV is a very instantaneous medium. RT is trying to do something very complicated, which is not only to give the Russian point of view, but other points of view in the region, including the developing world's point of view as well, to counteract what is essentially American propaganda. The Americans, they don't listen to Russophones in Ukraine. They don't listen to people who are opposed to the regime changes in Kiev. They don't listen to Russian public opinion, what they consider about the referendum in Crimea, for instance. So it's always one-sided. I've seen this in Iraq. I've seen this in Afghanistan, I've seen this in Pakistan, I've seen this during the 1997 Asian financial crisis, where the only spin in American corporate media was that this bunch of irresponsible Southeast Asian countries, where I am at the moment, one of them was Thailand, they brought their own demise, and they were not analyzing the deeper causes of the Asian financial crisis, which included a lot of Western interference and currency manipulation as well. So it's always one-sided. So this, speaking as an independent journalist, why do I contribute to RT? Because I made a conscious decision that at least I could explain different points of view, especially the global South point of view, not what the Americans call international community, which is an absolute fiction. It's what they think is the international community, is because the sycophants, the groupies, the cheerleaders and the shields behind the State Department or the CIA or the Pentagon say it is. It's not. It's the global South. And Russia is also part of the global South. Any of the BRICS countries and the emerging countries like Indonesia, South Korea, Malaysia, Philippines, where Obama is going to be in the next few days here in Southeast Asia, selling what? Militarism against China and a trade deal that is going to be good for US big business. Is American corporate media telling the real story about Obama's trip in Asia at the moment? Of course not.
All right, Asia Times correspondent Pepe Escobar live from Bangkok. Pepe, thank you very much indeed for your insight. We appreciate it, and my personal thank you goes to you for saying a couple of nice things about RT. Thank you.